Sam, that music is a tough act to follow. Maybe I should just sit down and ask them to play again. I'm going to speak about the cities and citizens. Historically, we have always had the opportunity in this city over a period of the last 60 years that I've lived here. Citizens have their say in one way or the other. Protests in Vancouver are not new. 1938, big rally about depression relief. 1968, several rallies in the same courthouse plaza, anti-freeway debates. 1971, equality rally. 1972, to save Christchurch Cathedral. 1991, protest against Iraq War, and so on. More recently, in 2002, Woodward's, then anti-job cut rally in 2002, and then 2010 against and for the Olympics, and 2011, it's Occupy Vancouver. All of us have views on Occupied Vancouver. What I'd like to suggest, with all due respect to all of you, that after this, walk over and join them because of two reasons. The suit and tie group here needs to be part of protest of one kind or the other, whether you agree with them or not, and also they need a lot more suits and ties. Over the last 100 years, Vancouver has always provided those opportunities. But what is different about this protest? We all have the views. There's no question about it. Every one of us assembled here have a view about whether it is right, wrong, what should the mayor or the councillors or somebody else should do. What is amazing about this protest is that the leadership in the city have gone AWOL. You know what that means? Absent without leave. Enough people get disgruntled, and enough people feel that what the leadership is doing is not sufficient, or it is probably even wrong, or even they don't provide leadership, then AWOL will become AWOP, that is absent without pay. So what do we all should do about this? We all have formulated our views. Going back to Aristotle, Plato, Cincinnatus, the right to express your views is inherent in our way of life and our way of politics. Because if we don't allow that opportunity to express our protest against something or the other, we'll end up with a country that we don't want to be living in. What next then? So the lack of leadership is a very big question. Lack of long-term vision is another question. You know, in Vancouver, the long-term plan is about 2 years and 2 months because the next 10 months is election. Chinese, their short-term plan is 50 years. And we have to change our way of thinking. And you know, I used to think that when Philip Owen was mayor, everybody called him Bland. Now I almost feel like inviting Bland back. And where are people like Art Phillips of the 1970s, the leaders? Where are the planners of the caliber of Ray Spaxman, Larry Beasley, Anne McAfee, Ernie Flodell? Where are they? What are these planners doing now? People can say planning is not politics. But I can tell you honestly, planning is nothing but politics. What happens in planning affects politics, what happens in politics affects planning. So if you look at all of the protest things that we have done, good and bad, the good ones leave good monuments for us to enjoy. If we had not protested, students, residents, others, mill workers, to retain the roundhouse, it would have gone. When we arrived there, about 200, 220 of us, there were already bulldozers. So it was a decision that was already made by the city to demolish the structure. And in terms of the heritage house in 15th and Main, that was the same thing, but that was of a different order. Freeways, that was of the same thing. Now, one of the candidates says, well, we will build certain things if there is a demand. If you leave it to the demand calculating people, then we should have had the freeways. If we had the freeways, we would not have the city we have now. We would have Seattle. Nothing else, but probably worse than Seattle. What I'm saying is that right to protest is inherent in our way of life. It is inherent in what we achieve. Therefore, whether you like the current protest or not, but go home believing that you and I and them in particular have the right to express their opinion the way they see fit. Thank you very much.